So, you want to become a drug dealer in Takistan? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make money illegally in Takistan Life Arma 3. Now, one of the best ways to make money, in my opinion, is doing the marijuana to hashish runs, which is a double processing, but if you do it, you'll be rewarded with a lot of money. So to start things off, you got to get a car. I highly recommend getting a backpack as well. If you want to learn that kind of stuff, please refer to my How to Make Money Legally guide, which will show you how to make some starting cash in Takistan. When you have that, you're also going to want to take out $40,000 from the ATM. That's a lot of money, so I highly recommend getting a weapon as well from the gun license store or from the rebel camp, depending on how much money you have and what kind of weapons you want. Once you have your backpack, your vehicle, and your weapon, you don't need a weapon, but I highly recommend it just in case you run into somebody at the drug dealer. Your next step is to drive to the weed field, and the weed field is in the far northwestern corner of the map. You can find these by just looking on your map and it says weed field. So just set a waypoint on the map and start driving over there. Now, unlike legal processing, which really usually requires you to have a pickaxe, you don't need to have anything additional with you, just your backpack, which is going to save on some space. So you want to drive up to the weed field, and there's a couple methods of doing how to pick faster than normal. You can just stand there and hit Windows key and it will pick the marijuana for you. There's some additional methods like running out of the zone and sprinting into the zone while holding your Windows key, and this will eventually start to pick up your marijuana much faster. There's also a method where you hold your Shift 4, which is your surrender key, and your Windows key at the exact same time, and that will help pick faster. But if you don't want to get involved in any of that crap, you can just sit there pressing the Windows key, fill up your backpack, fill up your vehicle, and once your vehicle and backpack is full, then you can just start driving towards the marijuana processing. Just kind of keep in mind, this is going to be the first $20,000 to buy the marijuana licensing. Set a waypoint for marijuana processing, which is in the northeast side of the map, and then begin the long drive over there. I highly recommend actually driving in the north side of the map, not through the roads. It can be much faster to just drive through the desert than to take any conventional roads. You're probably just going to add a couple extra time. You can get a repair kit just in case you hit rocks. In fact, I highly recommend that you do. I hit a lot of rocks when taking the northern pass. And the further north you go in Takistan, I find the less trees and the less bushes and rocks there is. It's kind of on the edge of like debug land. I called it like the Northern Highway just because you could rock like 160 to 200 kilometers per hour and you can flip a little bit, so just be careful about that. But you can go very fast using the northern road to get to the marijuana processing as fast as possible to make your time more efficient. But again, be careful of that. I highly recommend a repair kit so you can repair your vehicle as fast as you see here. Now, once you've arrived at marijuana processing, you have to buy your processing license, which is around $19,500. Just take the cannabis into your inventory and then talk to the processor, and he will just begin the process of marijuana, very similar to processing other goods. It's exactly identical to everything else in this game. So just do that, and once all your cannabis has been processed into marijuana, you can now either sell it to the drug dealer, or what I recommend is turning it into hashish, which will make you a lot more money. And it doesn't take that much longer, honestly. The only problem with this guy is he's below the border, and you have to kind of go through the hole that's in the border, which is right next to the NATO checkpoint that is open. This checkpoint is closed. We can't get through there, so we're gonna have to sneak past the border. For roleplay, you can try to go through the checkpoint, but I highly recommend that you don't do that because you'll probably get some jail time. The hole in the border is actually just east of the open NATO checkpoint, so just drive along the barrier until you find it, and you'll see it there. It's a small little opening, and once you go through, you're free to travel to the hash processor on your map. It's a pretty easy place to find. Just again, like I said, drive a little east of the open checkpoint and you will see it pretty clearly. Again, once you're at hash processing, it's the same as before. You just go up to the guy, you buy your hash processing, which is going to be $19,500. And once you do that, you can begin the process of turning your marijuana into hash. And this is the last processing step that you have to do before selling your drugs. So it's just a rinse and repeat here. Once you're done at this step, put the drugs. I highly recommend storing as much drugs as you can inside your vehicle, just in case you get killed. Leaving your vehicle locked, not a whole lot of people do carry lockpicks. So if a lot of drugs are in your vehicle and you just so happen to get killed, you can come back to your vehicle and then you'll still have your product ready to sell. Now, by the time I'm making this video, there's actually 2 drug dealers and not one. You have your West drug dealer and your East drug dealer. Both are the same. It doesn't really matter which one you go to. In this video, I am going to the West drug dealer because this was the only one in the game at the time of recording this. And again, be extremely careful here. Keep your eyes open. If you see anybody in these houses, leave the area for a few minutes and come back later. I was incredibly lucky that nobody was here camping it, but again, time is essential here. You do not want to be sitting around twiddling your thumbs selling these drugs. Just do it fast, and then get the hell out of there. Get back in your vehicle and just leave as fast as possible. Now you can just go to a local ATM after this and deposit your money. I got $252,000 for that run. Again, you can maximize your profits if you use a vehicle with a bigger trunk storage space. But again, I like vehicles that are fast rather than vehicles that are slow. Typically, the slower the vehicle, the more trunk space you can have. The Gurkha is the only exception to this. It is one of the fastest vehicles in the game. But it costs around $560,000 and has a 100 trunk space. So if you're going to be doing drugs a lot, it is a wise investment. You can buy the Gurkha in the Rebel training. It will cost $75,000 to buy the Rebel training, and then on top of that, $566,000 to actually buy the Gurkha. But again, it's kind of an end game vehicle. Also, some notable things. Again, be careful. It is very easy to get robbed. Most of the times that I've actually done this, I've actually been robbed or shot at or killed. For those new players, I highly recommend having shadow play on because there's a lot of RDMing right now. If you do get randomly killed without anybody initiating a conversation, do save it, report it to the admins. It is against the rules. To rob people in this game, you do need to initiate a voice comms first. But as you can see here, it doesn't always happen.
You almost hit that guy.
I did not almost hit that guy. Holy shit, payday, boys.
Ah!
There you go. There you guys go. This is my truck.
Needless to say, that isn't allowed and it can get you banned from the server. If this does happen to you, again, I highly recommend having shadow play on and then quickly going to the Takistan Life forums and reporting the player for doing just that. Anyways, guys, again, if you do drug running, just keep in mind there's a high risk with high reward. If you do not want to do something that is risky, then refer to my legal money making guide. It will teach you how to do copper runs to earn you a lot of money very fast. Link to that will be in the description box below. And you can also find it on my YouTube channel in the Takistan Life playlist. There's going to be lots of Takistan videos coming to this channel very soon. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. If you found it helpful, then please share it with your friends, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.